Hello and welcome. For this practice, I invite you, before we get started, to grab a supportive prop. I have a yoga bolster here. Anything will work, a stack of pillows, a couch cushion, just anything that's a little bit firmer. We're gonna use it towards the end. So if you wanna pause the video, grab whatever you need to grab, and I'll go ahead and set mine off to the side. We'll use it at the end. And then we can go ahead and get started in a nice, easy seat. So I invite you to meet me in a seat wherever you're at here. And as you're settling in, maybe just take a few deep breaths. Maybe sigh it out. Maybe shake your hands out. Maybe you need to rub your hands together. Just anything that you need to do here to kind of bring yourself into a little bit of stillness. Just to bring your body, your mind into the present moment. And then go ahead and take your hands and bring them to your hips. So see if you can start to connect with your hip bones here, and just very gently start to push down on that area. So as you do, you may notice your sit bones grounding down a little bit more. Maybe you feel just the slightest release in your lower back. Just very subtle here. Continue to breathe. You can apply as much or as little pressure here as your body needs. 2 more rounds of breath. Awesome. You can go ahead and release. Just gently land your hands on the tops of your legs. And we're going to start to get into the shoulders a little bit. So just right away, start to bring some movement into your shoulders, maybe shoulder rolls, maybe kind of moving your shoulders up and down. Just whatever feels good here. Option to close your eyes down and really start to feel into this movement. Couple more rounds of breath for your shoulders, wherever you're at. And then go ahead and come to some stillness. Make sure your shoulders, bring them nice and down away from your ears. And then just start to get into your neck a little bit, whatever feels good here. So maybe you just start by dropping one ear towards the shoulder. Maybe you hold for a couple rounds of breath. Maybe you want to take some neck circles. Maybe that feels better for you. And just start to tune in. Notice your neck here. You may feel some pops, some creaks, some grinding. Just kind of notice what you hear. Notice how your neck feels. You may find that there's certain points that feel really, really tense. Maybe focus on those points in your neck a little bit. Just a couple more rounds of breath for whatever you need in your neck. And then go ahead and come back to center, back to neutral, wherever you're at. And you can stay where you're at. I'm going to face the front of my mat. And if you have your legs crossed, go ahead and switch whichever foot is crossed in front of the other. Notice how that feels in your hips and your legs. Might feel a little bit funky. And then plant your fingertips in front of you. We're going to take some forward folds and start to get into that spine a little bit more. So on an inhale, start to walk your hands forward. See if you can keep a nice straight spine all the way. And then at the very last, go ahead and round your spine. Let the crown of your head go towards the floor. Take a couple rounds of breath here. And then make sure your fingertips are on the ground. Your hands are nice and tented. On an inhale, start to push your upper body up. Lengthen your spine. Create some space in your front body. Exhale, bend your elbows, fold forward. Again, inhale, straighten your arms, create some length. Exhale, fold. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Awesome. Inhale, come back up, plant your hands. Exhale. We're going to meet in a tabletop shape on hands and knees. Take your time as you settle in here. And then right away, when you settle in, go ahead and move into some cat-cow. So on an inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, start to round through your spine, tuck your chin towards your chest. And maybe hold here in this rounded spine. Let your head be nice and heavy. Notice how your back body feels. Notice this rounding in your spine. See if you can push the ground away just a little bit more. And then on your next inhale, drop your belly. Let your gaze go up toward the sky. Again, exhale, round through your spine, and you're just taking this movement at your own pace. So take a few more rounds of cat-cow, inhaling to drop your belly, and exhaling to round through your spine. Couple more like that. And then as you're ready, go ahead and come to a neutral spine and just let your hips start to rock side to side. You can get into your head and neck a little bit more. And then when you're ready, start to take some hip circles here. So you'll notice as you're taking these hip circles, you'll notice some movement in your spine. Maybe you start to move your head as well, taking some head and hip circles. Option to close your eyes down here. Continue to breathe. Take that for a few more rounds that direction. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and switch which direction you're taking those circles. Again, notice this movement all the way from the back of your neck down to the base of your spine. Awesome. Go ahead and come back to neutral. And then on an exhale, you're going to start to push your hips back towards your heels, moving into child shape here. Keep your knees closer together, just like they are in tabletop. Settle in here for a few rounds of breath. So your forearms and your hands are nice and grounded. Maybe your forehead is nice and grounded here. And on each inhale, I invite you to find some length in your spine, length in your arms. And on each exhale, sink just a little bit deeper. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to sink. Couple more rounds just like that. And then on your next inhale, start to come up into tabletop. Really find a rounding in your spine here as you come all the way up into tabletop. And then on your exhale, start to drop your hips, drop your pelvis, bring your chest through your arms and hold here. Notice how this feels in your body. Maybe take a look back at your feet. See if they're about hips width distance apart. And then option here to lift your knees off the ground. So going into a full upward facing dog. Last option is to let your head go back. Really push the ground away with your hands for 3, for 2, for 1. Nice big inhale. Exhale, drop your knees, push it back to child shape. Hold for 1 or 2 rounds of breath here. And we're going to take that same movement in your body, and you're going to start to move with your breath. So on your next inhale, round yourself up into tabletop. Exhale, lower your hips, pull your chest through your arms, lift your knees, upward facing dog. Nice big inhale, and on your exhale, drop your knees, push it back to child. Take that one breath, one movement. Inhale forward all the way into your upward facing. Exhale back to child. Take this movement at your own pace. Maybe your breath is a little bit slower, a little bit faster than mine. Couple more like this. Really feel your back body. Feel that opening in your chest. And then when you find yourself back in child's, go ahead and stay there for a breath or two. On your next inhale, go ahead, we're going to come up, but instead of coming straight up, you're going to start to take your hips to the left. And then inhale, you're going to circle forward with your hips all the way up, and then finish that circle as you push yourself back to child's. Again, circle your hips, coming all the way up. Exhale, finish that circle, push it back to child's. 2 more. Option to close your eyes, feel into this. Move with your breath. And then we're going to take it, switch directions. So inhale, move those hips to the right this time, coming all the way up. Exhale, push it back, finish that circle. We're going to take that 3 more times at your own pace. Trying to find some fluidity here in your movement and your breath. And wherever you're at, we're going to meet back in child's pose. Awesome. Find your breath, and then look up between your hands and start to walk them forward until your hips are about over your knees. And you're going to settle into this puppy shape here. So your forearms, your hands are still nice and grounded, but your hips are really elevated towards the sky here. Maybe you can ground your chin or your forehead down. Notice where you feel any sensation here. Maybe the backs of your shoulders, maybe your upper back. Notice any sensations from the back of your neck all the way down your spine to the base of your spine, all the way down to your tailbone. Breathe into any sensations here, any tension. 3 more rounds of breath. And then on your next inhale, come back into tabletop. Walk your hands back towards you. Exhale here. Maybe rock your hips side to side 1 more time, releasing any tension. Awesome. Okay, we're going to make our way to downward facing dog. So tuck your toes under. On an inhale, lift your hips all the way up and back towards the sky. Exhale, allow yourself to settle in here. So notice your feet about hips width distance apart. Maybe look up towards your hands. Notice all 10 fingers are spread apart. Your palms of your hands are nice and grounded, pushing the ground away. And then maybe on an exhale, you push your chest a little bit closer to your legs, feeling the backs of your legs firing up a little bit. So notice that sensation from the back of your neck, down your spine, down the backs of your legs. Your whole back body here should be nice and activated. 2 or 3 more rounds of breath. Option to bring a little bit of movement, maybe rocking side to side, maybe bending one knee and then the other. Awesome. If you're moving, go ahead and find stillness again. You're going to look up between your hands. Inhale, pull your right knee towards your chest. Hold for just a moment. And then exhale, drop your right foot between your hands. Drop your back knee towards the ground. Untuck your back toes. Find some length in your spine here. So maybe you have to come up on fingertips. Couple rounds of breath here. Notice where you feel any tension, any activation in your body. 1 or 2 more rounds of breath. And then start to walk your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Plant both of your hands down a little bit wider apart so you have some space between your arms. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, bend your elbows, fold forward. Again, inhale, lengthening your spine. Exhale, rounding. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Awesome. Inhale back up. Exhale, walk your right foot back between your hands. Keep your left hand nice and grounded. And on an inhale, twist to the right, reaching your right arm all the way up to the sky. Exhale, settle in here. See if you can bring your gaze to your right thumb. Maybe readjust anything in your feet and your legs that you need to for this to feel nice and supportive. We're going to hold for a couple more rounds of breath. On each inhale, see if you can twist just a little bit deeper from the very center of your spine. Holding for 3, for 2, for 1. On an exhale, drop your right hand, tuck those back toes, step it back, downward facing dog. Hold for about 5 rounds of breath. Option to hold in stillness. Option to bring a little bit of movement to your body. Alrighty. We're going to take that all to the other side. So bring your gaze up between your hands. Inhale, pull your left knee towards your chest. Hold for just a moment. And then exhale, drop that left foot between your hands. Drop your back knee, untuck your back toes. Same thing. Find some length through your spine. Maybe you come up onto fingertips here. Let your left hip sink, settle in. Find your breath. And then when you're ready, walk your left foot to the outside of your left hand. We're going to take that same movement. Plant your palms down. Bring your hands a little bit wider apart. Inhale, find that length in your spine. Exhale, bend your elbows, fold forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, move your left foot back between your hands. Make sure your right hand is nice and grounded. And then on an inhale, start to twist to the left. Bring your left arm all the way up. Exhale, settle in here again. Readjust anything you need to. Your gaze is up towards your left thumb. Couple rounds of breath. See if you can twist a little bit more from the very center of your body. For 3, for 2, For 1. Your exhale, plant your left hand, tuck your back toes, left foot meets your right, downward facing dog. 5 rounds of breath here. Again, push the ground away with the palms of your hands, push your heels towards the earth, push your chest towards the tops of your legs. And then look up between your hands. Start to walk your feet forward. We're going to meet at the top of your mat in a forward fold. Bring your feet as wide apart as feels good here. So for me, almost as wide as my mat feels pretty good. And then go ahead, grab opposite elbows for ragdoll here, and let yourself just kind of hang loose. So your head, neck, and shoulders are nice and heavy. Top of your head is towards the earth. You may find that you kind of start to rock back and forth. That's okay. Option to stay in stillness for a few more rounds of breath, or option to start to sway side to side, maybe bending through one knee and then the other. Wherever you're at, you're still keeping head, neck, and shoulders nice and heavy. And then when you're ready, go ahead, keep your hands around your elbows, bend your knees, inhale, round all the way up into a standing shape. Take your time here. Your head, neck are the last to arrive. When you arrive, you can release your shoulders or your elbows and then start to bring just some shoulder circles, a little bit of movement. Kind of check in on your feet. Make sure they feel nice and grounded. So we're in mountain shape at the top of your mat here. And we're going to take a little bit of a flow here. So on an inhale, sweep your arms all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knees, bend all the way down, forward fold, plant your hands down. Inhale, lengthen your spine, find space. Exhale, fold, bend your knees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Last one like this. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand all the way up. Sweep your arms up. Exhale, dive it down, forward fold. This time when you arrive, again, grab opposite elbows. And as you stand, you're going to start to take a big circle. So inhale, start to take your body to the left. Start to circle all the way back up, still holding onto those elbows. Exhale, circle to the right. Take it all the way back down. We're going to take that 2 more times. Inhale, take your time. Exhale. Last one on this side. Gonna switch sides when you get down there. Inhale, take it to the right, all the way up. Exhale down. 2 more at your own pace. Awesome. Go ahead and release your elbows. We're meeting back in standing forward fold. And then when you're ready, start to Walk your feet out about as wide as your mat. Point your toes out just a little bit wider and let your hips come as far down as they'll go. So we're moving into Malasana squat here. It's a very deep squat. So if you don't find yourself all the way down like me, that's totally fine. Take this to whatever extent you can. We're going to hold for about 5 rounds of breath wherever you're at. Make sure all 4 corners of your feet are nice and grounded down. If you can't ground your heels down, that's okay. It just means you're up a little bit further. And when you get through those rounds of breath, go ahead and drop your seat to the floor. Okay, straighten your legs out in front of you. Just notice how your legs feel. You may have felt this a lot in your hips, in your back, in your legs. Just notice how everything feels here. We're going to take one seated forward fold and then make our way to our backs and slow everything down. So go ahead and inhale, find length in your spine. And then exhale, walk your hands forward. See if your peace fingers can grab your big toes. And inhale again, find that length in your spine. Exhale, maybe you stay here, maybe you fold forward just a little bit more. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and slowly and gently come back up. Awesome. We're going to make our way to our backs. Before you do, make sure you have that prop handy. And when you make it there, go ahead and plant your feet about hips width distance apart. And you're going to grab your prop and you're going to lift your hips just enough so you can place it underneath your hips. So you don't want it to be too high up your back or too low. You want it to be nice and supportive underneath you here. So notice how this feels. For me, it feels like a nice little release in my lower back from some of the stretches and movements we've just been doing. So check in, notice how it feels, and then notice what you want to do with your legs here. We're going to be here for about a minute or so. So maybe you want to keep your legs as is, maybe you want to straighten them in front of you. It really doesn't matter. Find a shape, find a variation of this that works for you, that doesn't feel like you're having to hold tension in your arms and your legs. And just allow yourself to find some stillness, find some silence, and I'll check back in with you in just a few moments. Option to stay here for longer if you want to pause the video. If you're ready to move on to a couple more movements, go ahead and start to bring your knees in towards your chest. Just very slowly make sure you're nice and stable over that prop. And then when you're ready, lift your legs all the way up to the sky, straighten your legs. Notice how this feels. Maybe you just want to stay here. Maybe you want to take some ankle circles, point and flex through your feet. Couple more rounds of breath here. All right, when you're ready, bring your knees back in towards your chest, plant your feet, and then move that prop out of the way. And let your hips come all the way down to the ground. Okay, straighten your leg in front of you so that your heel is grounded down. And then start to bend your right knee, pull it in towards your chest. Hold here for a few moments. And then when you're ready, we're going to take a supine twist. So take your left hand on the outside of your right leg and start to pull it down to the floor, down to the left. Try to keep your shoulders nice and grounded here. Option to tee your right arm out to the side. And just hold. We'll be here for about a minute. Notice the twisting sensation all the way down your spine. Notice the connection of the back of your head, backs of your shoulders to the earth. See if there's anywhere else you can let go here. A nice deep inhale. Nice deep exhale. Go ahead and come back to center. Bring your right knee back in towards your chest. Squeeze it in just a little bit. And then release. We're going to switch sides. Straighten that right leg down. Pull your left knee in towards your chest. Do a little squeeze. Couple rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, you're just going to twist it to the other side. So your right hand hooks on the outside of your left leg. And then swing that left leg over your right. Reposition, readjust anything that you need to here. Be gentle with yourself as you settle into this twist. Again, try to keep both of your shoulders grounded. Maybe your left arm tees out to the side. Take a nice big breath in. And let it go. Awesome. Bring your right knee back in, your left knee back in towards your chest. Squeeze it in and then release. Okay. Go ahead and roll to one side for just a moment. Maybe pause here for a couple rounds of breath. And we're going to meet in a seat as you're ready. Take your time. Back in an easy seat where we started. We're going to do a few rounds of breath work to finish out practice together. So I invite you to close your eyes down or have a soft gaze down to the tip of your nose. Find some centering, some grounding, some presentness in your body here. Let your sit bones ground down. On an inhale, find a little bit of length in your spine. On an exhale, release your shoulders, release your arms, your hands. Find just a slight tuck of your chin towards your chest. And we're going to breathe together. Inhale through your nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through your mouth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. This time, inhale for 5. And we're going to hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom for 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5. Hold for 3. Exhale for 5. Hold for 3. We'll take that one more round. Inhale 5. Hold for 3. Exhale 5. And hold for 3. And go ahead and release. Take a couple deep breaths on your own. Check in with yourself. Notice how you feel. Notice where your thoughts are landing. Notice where your body's at, your spine, your hips, your shoulders. And to finish out practice together, I invite you to bring the palms of your hands together, the very center of your chest. Your thumbs are touching your chest here. We're going to finish with just 3 deep inhales and exhales together. Go ahead and inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, let it go. 2 more, inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Thank you so very much for joining me. I hope that you got whatever it was that you needed out of this practice for yourself. And as always, I will see you next time.